All right, buckle up, because if you told me a year ago that a $500 sticker slapped on a Navy patrol boat would end with FBI agents' viral hashtags and an HOA president doing a perp walk in front of live news cameras, I'd have told you to put the bourbon down. But that's exactly what happened. Picture this. I'm standing there, coffee still steaming, just back from deployment, when Karen Whitmore, the kind of person who sees a clipboard as a weapon of mass destruction, marches right up and sticks a violation notice on my boat. Not just any boat, mind you, but a decommissioned U.S. Navy patrol vessel still wearing the scars and stickers from another life. She stares me down, says, "Military people aren't special. You ever see someone look at you and just not see you at all?" That was Karen right then. To her, I was just another commercial vehicle clogging up her view. She snaps, "Pay up by Friday or we tow it." Diesel and her perfume are dueling it out in the autumn air, and I'm standing there honestly wondering if I'm still asleep and dreaming. What she doesn't know: that little sticker was the start of a federal criminal case. No, really. See, I'd been through my own hell lately, 15 years in the Navy, divorce, moving back to civilian life with my teenage daughter Emma, and picking Riverside Meadows specifically because it had room for my dad's old boat. This thing, it's not just fiberglass and diesel. It's the only piece of my family's story I still feel in my hands. The neighborhood's got its quirks. Bob Fletcher, the retired Marine down the block, Maria Santos, the legal secretary, families trying to keep up with mortgage and mowing. It was normal. Until Karen. She's what you get when an ex-insurance investigator and too many true crime podcasts collide. No kids, a husband, always traveling for business, and a God-given mission to make every blade of grass military straight. We all thought HOA stuff was supposed to be simple: cut the grass, don't throw ragers on a Tuesday, maybe a block party if we're feeling wild. But Karen, she ran for president unopposed because no one else wanted the headache, and in half a year we're living in a dictatorship. She's measuring grass height, timing trash cans, taking more photos than a wedding photographer. The real kicker: she picks her targets. Bob's boat. No problem. The Henderson's kids leave toys in the yard, not even a whisper. But question Karen's authority and you get hit with a stack of violations that'd make the IRS blush. So here I am, October morning, pulling in with my patrol boat, thinking the only battle I'll fight is against a stubborn fuel pump. Instead, Karen's clicking across the driveway in heels at 7 a.m., violation slip in hand. Section 12C, $500 fine. 30 days to remove, she barks. I'm still half in uniform, duffel on my shoulder. She's waving legal printouts in my face like she's serving a federal warrant, not hassling a guy who just spent 6 months overseas so she could sleep soundly. And right there, I realize Karen made a colossal mistake. She thinks I'm just some guy with a boat. What she's actually done is pick a fight with the U.S. Navy, so I call Sarah Lucy, Navy legal old friend, tough as nails. She laughs at first, then goes dead serious. She did what? Next thing I know, my inbox is flooding with federal statutes, case law, constitutional stuff. Turns out federal law doesn't exactly bend to Karen's community standards. But Karen, God bless her, doubles down. Shows up at my door that afternoon, 3 more violations. Noise ordinance, property values, community aesthetics. I offer to walk her through the legal documents. She brushes it off. This is private property, not a military base. She's got a petition now, 17 signatures, except half are from fake addresses, and the rest, I'm pretty sure she cornered folks while they were just trying to get to work. That's when Bob strolls over, looks at her petition, starts laughing. "You want me to sign to ban my own boat?" Karen goes red. "That's different. Yours isn't a security risk." Bob gives her that Marine look and says, "Lady, he just spent 6 months overseas, so you can stand here and act like an idiot. Show some respect." Karen's response. She cranks up the crazy. Military people get everything free, healthcare benefits, and now they think rules don't apply. The sound of Bob's jaw clenching is loud enough to make a few birds take flight. Maria comes out cool, calm, legal secretary voice. She tries to warn Karen about federal protections. Karen won't have it. HOA covenants are binding. Military status doesn't give you special rights. But it's obvious she's never actually read the real documents, just summaries probably cherry-picked by the last board. That's when I pull out my phone and show her Navy legal's paperwork. Ma'am, your violation isn't worth the paper it's printed on. She doesn't even look. I don't read military propaganda. Pay up by Friday. By this point, neighbors are peeking out their windows, someone's grilling, and Karen is going nuclear in broad daylight. But it gets wilder. Next morning, city code enforcement shows up. The inspector's apologetic. He knows Karen's a handful. I show him my paperwork. He makes a call, shuts Karen down on the spot. But she's not done. That afternoon, my insurance agent rings Karen's trying to claim my boat as a hazard, a weapons cache that I'm running some kind of black ops from my garage. Insurance guy laughs but warns me she's threatening lawsuits now. What I learned through divorce insurance fraud is a federal crime. Karen is no longer just annoying, she's on the verge of being a felon. Then Karen holds an emergency community safety meeting. Sends out flyers with my boat on them, dramatic headlines about military invasion. She set up folding chairs, a podium, even has a PowerPoint. 15 neighbors show, mostly for the popcorn. She starts in military vehicles, decreased property values. Trained killers in the neighborhood, Bob pipes up. Is the boat gonna attack us? Karen, she snaps. Military people are different. PTSD deployments. These people are unstable. Maria steps in, calm as ever. That's discrimination, and it's illegal. But Karen just keeps digging crossing lines you can't uncross. And then it clicks. Karen keeps asking about my mortgage, my house's value. It's not about rules or safety. She wants me out. Wants my house, maybe. The Hendersons stand up. We moved here for community, not this. Half the neighbors leave. That night, 3 of them call to apologize for Karen. But Karen's masterpiece, she calls the FBI. Claims there's a terrorist cell operating out of my garage. I nearly spit my coffee when Agent Wells shows up. She's got that. I can't believe my job, look. She asks me, what did you do to make her so angry? I say I came home from deployment. She laughs, but it's no joke. Karen's filed false reports, harassed federal property, and now the FBI is connecting dots. Maria's been quietly tracking embezzlement, mail fraud, forged contracts, $127,000 missing from HOA funds. Turns out Karen wasn't just power hungry. She was stealing big time. My boat was a smokescreen, a distraction for her financial shenanigans. As Wells puts it together, Maria drops a banker's box of receipts and forensics on the table. Now Karen's facing federal charges, mail fraud, embezzlement, civil rights violations, obstruction of justice. The community blows up. Neighbors start organizing, military families come together. Local news picks up the story. Local HOA president under fire for anti-military discrimination. By now, Karen's become the poster child for HOA tyranny. But Karen's still not done. She tries bribery, shows up at my door with $10,000 and a statement for me to sign recanting everything. I record the whole thing, hand it to Agent Wells, who just shakes her head, one more felony. She vandalizes my boat at 2 a.m., gets caught on security cam, claims it's a chemical leak. The fire department shows up, files their own charges for false reports. She calls Child Protective Services, claims I'm militarizing Emma with combat training, aka fishing. Even CPS files against her for false reporting. Saturday comes the showdown. The community center is packed, news crews, neighbors, federal prosecutors. Karen struts in with her lawyer thinking she'll win everyone back with a speech about military invasion. Maria stands up, hands full of receipts. Karen wants to explain the missing $127,000. The room goes dead silent. Agent Wells stands, Ms. Whitmore, you're under arrest for embezzlement, fraud, false reporting, and civil rights violations. The handcuffs click. The room erupts. Bob starts clapping, and for once, nobody tells him to stop. The new board has elected Bob as president, Maria as treasurer. Karen's lawyer tries some last-minute threats, but it's over. The real closure, though, 8-year-old Tommy Santos pipes up. Does this mean the crazy lady won't yell at us anymore? The whole room laughs, probably louder than anyone has in years. Emma streams it on TikTok. Karen v. Navy goes viral. 6 months later, Karen sitting in federal prison. The judge lays it out, 18 months behind bars, 3 years probation, $127K restitution, and my legal fees. Her ex-husband skips town. The new board reforms the HOA with military-friendly rules, term limits, audits, the works. My boat still in the driveway now with a plaque, U.S. Navy, protected by federal law. The neighborhood changes. Emma starts a scholarship fund with her restitution money. We hold a freedom festival every year. Maria moves in with her kids. Even my mom moves out of assisted living and into our guest house. Bob gets reelected by a landslide, passes the Karen Whitmore stupid rule: any HOA regulation discriminating against military families is automatically void. And here's the real twist: our case gets cited in federal law training for HOA boards, even military housing rights. Karen's house sells below market to an Air Force family who parks bikes, a motorcycle, and a literal army truck in the driveway. Irony served piping hot. Now, whenever a military family calls fighting their own HOA battles, I tell them, document everything. Know your rights, don't let petty tyrants win. Sometimes justice takes the form of a federal indictment, and sometimes karma comes in the shape of a slow clap at a community meeting. So what about you? Drop your wildest HOA nightmare story in the comments. Let's hear what you've survived. Who knows, maybe you'll be in the next tale of clipboard warriors and federal karma. And hey, if this story made you cheer or cringe, hit subscribe, drop a like, and ring that bell. The only thing crazier than Karen is the next HOA revenge story. And trust me, we're just getting started. And remember, justice doesn't always come with a badge or a robe. Sometimes it's a TikTok stream, a slow clap, and a Navy boat still standing proud in the driveway.